there. I really did enjoy that. Riddle and Orton working as a great pair. After this, we got Kevin Owens telling Seth he has big news, and if Kevin Owens wins tonight against Big E in the main event, he will be added, and it will be a triple threat match at day one. I thought that was a little cool thing, and maybe this get Kevin Owens to re-sign if you put him in a main event feud and he gets a main event title shot. I would love that, and it could mean that Kevin Owens doesn't leave WWE after January. We then got Edge making his return to WWE TV. He's been off TV since his match with Seth Rollins inside Hell in a Cell at Crown Jewel. And Edge then said, "You guys haven't seen my ugly mug since that match, and I am glad to be back. It's going to be I can't believe I'm on Raw with all these great faces." He's then hinted at a match with AJ Styles at WrestleMania, which would be a match I would love to see. We got a couple years ago with AJ Styles and The Undertaker, and AJ Styles really helped elevate The Undertaker to what he used to be, not to what he is. And I could think he'd do the exact same thing with Edge, who has been actually having amazing matches. So maybe we get a classic Edge versus AJ Styles feud. I would love to see that. That would be one of my favorite matches of the year. And then, as he was talking, Miz and Mrs. came out. That's right, Maurice is back, ladies and gentlemen. She came out, and they interrupted Edge. Edge then said, I'm going to give you credit because you're in so many people's heads that you are even being mentioned on other shows. Oh yeah, that was something I forgot to say. AEW mentioned Miz. They said MJF is nothing more than a cheap Miz knockoff. So Edge came out and used that line. He said, "You are even being mentioned on other shows. You were in so many people's heads." So WWE referenced AEW. I thought that was pretty funny. They then had a very good promo. Miz would basically say that Edge didn't stand by him when he needed him. He needed him to help him when he was a young performer, and he is very angry that Edge left him off his list of the performers he wants to fight going on in his career on Raw. Very good promo. I think it was probably promo of the week, maybe promo of the month, in my opinion. Edge versus Miz. If not, it is CM Punk versus MJF. But very good promo from the Miz and Edge here. If you want, it's on YouTube. Please go watch it. A very good promo. AJ Styles was then seen backstage with sunglasses on, saying he cannot see after the Street Profits blew a fire extinguisher in his eyes. That's right. The week before, the Street Profits shot fire extinguishers into AJ Styles' eyes to make the claim that they want the smoke, and they put out the fire of AJ Styles. I thought that was pretty funny. And AJ Styles is saying he can't see and Omos, and he points to like a random spot in the room, and Omos goes, "Over here, over here, over here." And he turns him around, and it's just him basically pointing right in Omos' face. I was laughing at this the whole time. It seems that WWE is going for a bit more comedic angle, and I like it. I like the comedic angles of this. But there are some times when you have to be serious, and that would come in the main event. So we then got the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy. Alpha Academy would lose to the Street Profits after AJ Styles tried to interfere. Apparently he regained his vision and tried to screw Montez Ford, but Ford saw it coming. He would kick AJ Styles down, hit the top rope splash, and would pick up the win. After this, we got Damian Priest versus Apollo Crews, a United States Championship match. I like what they're doing here. The United States Championship is kind of becoming the TV title for what WCW was. And I was actually sitting there thinking, if they do get rid of the Cruiserweight title in NXT, which is talk going around, I would love for them to bring back the TV title in NXT. And have a title that is, whenever TV is on, it is defended. I would love to see that. So Damian Priest was able to defeat Apollo Crews after Commander Aziz tried to interfere. The referee kicked Commander Aziz off and said go backstage. He kicked him out from ringside, and that was something I truly thought was awesome. You don't get many kicks out from ringside anymore, so I enjoyed that. I thought it was a little fun thing. Damian Priest would then pick up the win, and I like the darker side. Damian Priest wouldn't be as happy, as go-lucky as he has been. He would definitely be more angry at this win than before. I like the darker side Damian Priest we're seeing. We then got a tag team match in which Dominic and Rey Mysterio defeated the Hurt Business of Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Good little match, good tag team match. We're getting a lot of tag team matches this week. And if you think this is a lot, wait till my next Raw review after the next SmackDown and War Games review. We then got Team Liv, which consisted of Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, 24/7 champion Dana Brooke. Can't say that enough. Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash versus Team Becky, which was Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, Doudrop, Tamina, WWE Tag Team Champions Carmella and Queen Zelina. Carmella would take the pin, and Team Liv would pick up the win. I don't know. It was a good match, but I'm not a fan of big tag team matches. That's just my opinion. And finally, in your main event, Kevin Owens would defeat WWE Champion Big E after getting DQ'd by Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins would be at ringside, he would be on commentary, and Kevin Owens would just keep poking and prodding and poking and prodding. Seth Rollins basically like, hit me. And Seth Rollins would finally lose his cool and be like, fuck it, I'm going at you, Kevin Owens. And he would attack Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens then, it was revealed he was telling the truth, and he was added to the main event of day one. It is now a triple threat match of Kevin Owens, Big E, and Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship at day one. I'm excited for that match. I think it could be a great match, and it might even get better going into my next Raw review. But that is for later, ladies and gentlemen, because we still have 3 more shows to catch up on. That is right, 3 more shows. First, we got this SmackDown review. SmackDown kicked off with the return of former Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar came out and said he came back to win the Universal Champion from Roman Reigns. Sami Zayn again came out and said, sorry man, you're not number 1 contender, I am, but look at us, 2 Canadian boys done proud. Which is funny because when you think about it, even though he does live in Saskatchewan now, Brock Lesnar is from South Dakota, and he was originally billed from Minnesota where he played football for the Vikings. So it's funny hearing this Canadian boy, even though Brock Lesnar just lives in Canada now, he's technically not Canadian. Brock Lesnar then convinced Sami Zayn not to wait for day one. He convinced him to fight Roman Reigns tonight, and whoever wins gets to face Brock Lesnar at day one for the Universal Championship. I thought that was a very cool little thing. And you saw Brock Lesnar going back to his original character of not the Beast, but just kind of the next big thing, Brock Lesnar, to where he's wrapping his arm around people, trying to be smiling, trying to make people happy. I really did enjoy that. I enjoy this side of Brock Lesnar as a face. My opinion. After this, we got Sasha Banks versus Shayna Baszler in a very cool match. Shayna Baszler and Sasha Banks having very good feuds, but this is where, again, my Battle Droid of the Week would come into effect. Not on Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler did nothing wrong, but Pat McAfee and Michael Cole on the scripted line from WWE would call Shayna Baszler's kick, which she has done on Nia Jax, which she has done on Eva Marie, where she would step on their hands and break their hands on the steps, the Future Endeavors kick. Bravo, WWE. Bravo. They would have a very good match, and a match that could steal the show. Sasha Banks would pick up the win over Shayna Baszler. We then got Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss hosting a Happy Talk segment. I might change my Battle Droid of the Week now. I don't get this show. I don't get this segment. It is terrible. Honestly, I get Happy Corbin. I get the gimmick. But please stop with this segment. Please, don't give Madcap Moss talking time. It's not a talking character. I get if he's just a crazy guy who's alongside for the ride with Baron Corbin. That's cool. But don't make him talk. Make him just a crazy guy who hangs out in the corner. And when he's needed, he comes in for a fight. Anyway, they would make jokes, make fun of Jeff Hardy and Drew McIntyre. And then Jeff and Drew came and threw them out of the ring, stole their hats, and posed in the ring with the hats on, then threw the hats at Madcap Morgan and Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin. And that would be the end of that. We would then go to commercial and come back to a Viking Raiders versus Los Lotharios match. The Viking Raiders would actually lose this match. I was very shocked. Due to distraction from the Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs on the outside. They would cause the distractions. Rick Boogs was playing the guitar, trying to distract Los Lotharios. Unfortunately, it would backfire, and they would distract the Viking Raiders. The Viking Raiders would be distracted. Los Lotharios would pick up the win. They would go to confront Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura. But Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura would play it off and would play guitar again to the Viking Raiders theme. The Viking Raiders would start dancing, and Pat McAfee on commentary, man. I love Pat McAfee. He would just go, see, guitar brings everyone together. See, Cole, guitar brings everyone together. I love that. I love the Pat McAfee, man. After this, we got Toni Storm saying she will not be intimidated by Charlotte Flair, and she might be too pie Tony for now, but soon she will be the next SmackDown Women's Champion. Two Pie Tony, I don't know who came up with that, who thought it was a good idea, but please don't let this become a thing. I don't want to see that on t-shirts with Toni Storm with pie on her face. Oh, the more I say it, the worse it sounds. Anyway, after this, we got a match between King Woods versus SmackDown Tag Team Champion Jey Uso. And this would also mark the return of Sir Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston's back, ladies and gentlemen, after suffering an MCL sprain. He is back, and he would have it's very cool to see him in King Xavier Woods' corner. Xavier Woods would say, my crown might be destroyed, but I have someone coming back. And he would point to Xavier Woods. He would point to Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston would come out, and he would even the odds for Xavier Woods in the singles match with Jey Uso on the outside, or Jimmy Uso on the outside. Unfortunately, Jimmy Uso would interfere, causing the DQ of a very good match, and the New Day would stand tall after beating the crap out of both Usos. You would see Roman Reigns in his locker room very, very pissed off. After this, we have Charlotte Flair saying she will not have a match with Toni Storm. Toni Storm does not deserve a match for the SmackDown Women's Championship, which is very funny because she has already accepted the match many weeks ago before Survivor Series. So I guess the writers just forgot about it. Oopsie daisy. You kind of forgot. Uh-oh. And after Charlotte Flair would make her way out of the ring, Toni Storm would then throw a pie in Charlotte's face. Revenge is a dish best served creamed, I guess, because it was a pumpkin. I don't know what kind of pie it was, but anyway, a pie in the face. That's how we're building the women's division. We then got Sheamus versus Cesaro, and in very good match. These two have amazing in-ring chemistry from the time they were tag team competitors, from when they feuded before they were tag teams. Sheamus would say he told Rich Holland in the back to watch and wait for him and see what to do after this match. Sheamus would beat Cesaro in a very good match after hitting the brogue. After Cesaro went for the neutralizer, Sheamus would hit the brogue kick and would pick up the win. Very good match. I really enjoyed this match. Sheamus and Cesaro have great in-ring chemistry. And if this is their next feud before they reform the Bar, I'm very excited for it. We then got Naomi challenging Sandoval to a match on next week's SmackDown.